The following programming is EI, educational and informative.
Today on Mystery Hunters, we're going underwater and underground to get to the bottom of some ghost legends.
Are people in New Brunswick seeing the ghost of a cursed ship that sank there centuries ago? I'm diving deeper into the mystery to find out.
This is getting pretty freaky, man.
And I'm daring to venture underneath the streets of Edinburgh, Scotland, in a maze of forgotten rooms and tunnels to try to capture their ghosts. On tape.
Ever wonder what a ghost recording sounds like? Well, we've got one, and you'll be shocked when Doubting Dave tells you what it is.
This is Mystery Hunters.
We'll be right back with more Mystery Hunters. We now return to Mystery Hunters.
It's out there somewhere. A flaming ghost ship that haunts this bay. First, it appears as a red glow on the water. But then, you wouldn't believe what people report seeing.
I turned around and I saw this boat in the bay, and the boat seemed to be on fire. So right away I said, my gosh, somebody's going to burn to death.
Florence thought she should get help, so she stopped a passing car.
What we all saw, up like in the rig in there, you could see these two guys, and it was like they had swords, and they were sword fighting. And then I thought of it, I said, it's the Phantom Ship.
Florence isn't the only one. Many people have reported seeing a burning ship floating in the bay. Florence's story is pretty wild, but this book says that pirates did sail these waters and that a lot of ships were wrecked in this bay. According to one local legend, the fiery ship people see today might be the ghost of a pirate ship that was said to have gone up in flames here hundreds of years ago. It seems that the pirates came to shore and stole fur and kidnapped 2 women from a native tribe. Hey, that sounds like something Florence told me about her experience.
What we saw then was this woman running, and we seen one guy coming behind her. You could just see him reach out, and you could see him grab the woman, and you could see him haul the woman down.
Luckily, the girls escaped, but not before putting a curse on the pirate ship. A violent storm hit the bay that night. Giant waves crashed against the boat and smashed it into a rock. Then, one of the oil lamps on board fell to the ground and set the whole ship on fire. No one survived. Could Florence have seen the ghost of a cursed pirate ship that night?
I do know that it does exist, and I only wish that somebody would see it closer to see what I saw.
Is the ghost ship out there somewhere? If I see the red glow, I'll know I'm getting close.
I'm in Scotland, investigating one of Edinburgh's deepest, darkest secrets. Under these streets is a place so terrible, they had it covered up and hidden for hundreds of years. They found it by accident just 20 years ago, right here. An entire underground city where many years ago the poorest people lived in dirty, dark rooms and tunnels. Now, the city is a scary tourist attraction. They call it the Underground Vault. Many people who tour the vault see strange things and hear even stranger noises. Some ghostly voices have even been caught on tape. Are the ghosts of those poor people still haunting their underground home? I'm going down to the vault to find out. Debbie, is that you?
Christina, hi.
Hi, Debbie. How's it going?
Thank you.
You were right. This place really is spooky. Debbie McPhail's a radio producer who says she had a weird experience. Debbie came down here just to set up a radio interview, and she started feeling really weird.
I felt just immediately very uncomfortable. And then I felt a slight tugging on the bottom of my jacket. And there was nothing there. I was standing in the middle of the room. I had no explanation for it, but it made me feel very uncomfortable, and I just wanted to get out of there.
Then what happened?
Then the interviewer came down by himself. I asked him if he thought it was spooky. Not in the slightest, he said. But then I took the tape recording of the interview back to the studio. And when I listened to it, very strange, there seemed to be another voice, a third voice in the original tape.
Would I be able to hear the tape?
You put the headphones on. Now, what you'll hear initially is the presenter speaking, and then you will hear the person that he's interviewing, and the third voice that you'll hear. You'll have to listen very carefully, because it's almost a whisper.
Great location, but, you know.
Okay.
You definitely hear something, but I can't really make out what it's saying.
It's something like Fathurst. Fathurst.
Okay.
Debbie was told that the voice is speaking in Gaelic. Gaelic is an old Irish language that few people speak anymore. But it's the language that the people who lived in this underground city spoke.
Okay.
What it's saying is, I have a great longing, or I have a great longing to leave.
So, do you think that the voice that was recorded could have been a ghost?
I don't know. All I know is that there were only 2 people in the room that day. But on the tape, there are 3 voices.
Debbie won't go back to the vault where she felt that scary presence tugging at her. It's up to me to investigate, alone. I wonder if I'll meet up with any ghosts along the way.
10-year-old Gabriel Reeves of Thetford, England does not live on a haunted ship or in a creepy underground vault. But he does hear ghostly noises coming from a room in his school, the bathroom. So, while you take a look on the Mystery Illustrator, I'll get ready to move in. We couldn't get an email about a haunted chocolate factory. Dear Doubting Dave, my school has been around since Victorian times, and there's a story about an old headmaster getting locked in a bathroom back then and dying of starvation. So one day, my friend and I put our ears against some boarded-up toilets in the bathroom, and we were surprised to hear thumping. Like someone was trying to get out. Could the bathroom actually be haunted? Well, Gabriel, scary noises are pretty common in bathrooms. Eat a vegetable. Ugh. Pipes, especially pipes in old buildings like yours, make lots of noises. For example, when they're not strapped down tightly inside the walls and water or air runs through them, they can move around a lot, making them bang, thump, and even knock. Those sounds could even be coming from pipes further away that are connected to the ones in your bathroom. Also, when air gets trapped in pipes, they can vibrate quickly, creating a creepy moaning sound like this. So, Gabriel, I don't think your school bathroom is haunted. But if your old headmaster is stuck in there, I don't blame him for complaining.
We'll be right back with more Mystery Hunters.
Lots of people in Bathurst, New Brunswick say they've seen a ship on fire in their bay.
You couldn't actually see the bottom of the boat, all you could see was flames. I only wish that somebody would see what I saw.
Maybe someone did. A teacher said that he saw it too. And not only that, he took a picture of it. Kevin Mann was in this house when he noticed the red glow in the water. He grabbed his binoculars and rushed out to get a better look. That's when he saw what looks like a ship with 3 burning masts. He picked up his camera and started clicking. This is the picture he took. I don't see a red glow like the one in this picture. I need to know what's out there that could have caused those glowing lines to appear on the water that night. I asked boat owner Michelle Patra to help me get a better look. Do you think these lights could be coming from buildings on the other side of the bay?
I really don't think so, actually, because across the bay here is actually 22 miles. I really can't see an image being projected from 22 miles away from across the coast all the way to the New Brunswick coast here.
Michelle says that people think the lights in the photo could be navigation buoys or lit towers. But neither of those things would show up as 3 distinct red towers that high above the water. Even Michelle saw the phantom ship when he was a kid.
Wow. This is getting pretty freaky. I mean,
Has everybody in this town seen the ghost ship?
Quite a few people have seen it, yeah.
So is a ghost ship haunting this bay? Maybe there's an answer where the real ships are buried. If I can find a pirate ship down here, maybe it'll help me solve this mystery. A shipwreck. Could this be the ship whose ghost comes back to haunt the bay? I'll have to go inside to find out.
I'm investigating reports of strange sounds recorded in this underground city. This is supposed to be one of the most haunted areas in the vaults. Oh.
Hi, Christina.
Gary Shields is a tour guide here. So, what is this room?
This room has been, at one point, a storeroom, a workshop, and then it has become someone's home, so we did find what they've left behind. Broken bottles from old pubs. Now that is a sheep's skull. That's been someone's dinner.
Gary's seen many people get spooked in the vault. So, what type of things do people see and hear down here?
A lot of customers complain about being attacked by a little boy ghost who keeps pulling their jackets, pulling bracelets, kicks you in the shins. And people keep hearing voices, often a man who likes to whisper filthy things in your ear. Some voices people hear are just Irish Gaelic. It's people who've lived down here, who have died, and they always generally tell how much they resent us being in the vaults. But this evil, nasty man, I have heard him personally. He likes to come up to you and whisper into your ear, "Get out."
Debbie said she felt tugging. Thanks, Gary. I have to meet somebody else. How can I get to vault number 4?
Through the doorway, take a left and go straight down the corridor. You can't miss it.
Seems like strange things really do happen in these vaults. Doesn't mean it's haunted. This is the exact vault where Debbie recorded that voice. I'm gonna try to catch something on video. I'm gonna be using an extra sensitive microphone to pick up even the smallest sounds. The crew's leaving me here by myself. That way, if I do pick up something, I'll know for sure it wasn't from them.
Okay, we're all ready now. You're on your own.
Thanks, guys.
It'll be okay.
See you soon.
Yeah.
If there are ghosts in this underground city, will I hear them? Or will they show up on my tape?
Debbie McPhail believes she has a tape recording of an actual ghost.
Hey.
But she's not the only one. People have been hearing messages from beyond the grave on tape for years. But are these whispers and moans really coming from ghosts? Or are they something else? You won't believe how easily we can be fooled into thinking we hear ghostly voices on tape. Ghost hunters know that wind blowing on your microphone is the #1 cause of phony ghost voices on tape. You see, wind makes a kind of vague sound, nothing specific. And if you listen to it long enough, it's easy to hear words and phrases in the noise. The second biggest cause of ghostly voices on tape is background noise. Cars, airplanes, even people whispering can all be picked up by your tape recorder. You can end up recording sounds without realizing it. Then, when you listen to the tape, these noises can sound pretty creepy. The third biggest cause of ghostly noises on tape? The tape recorder. Tape recorders have their own internal microphones. But because they're inside the recorder, they also record the sound of the gears turning. And sometimes those gear noises can sound just like growling and even words. And even more incredibly, tape players sometimes pick up signals from radio stations and cell phone calls while you're recording, which can also sound like ghostly voices when you play the tape. So have real ghost voices ever been caught on tape? No. No one has ever shown any proof that ghosts exist. Not live, not on video, and not on audio cassette.
We'll be right back with more Mystery Hunters. We now return to Mystery Hunters.
I'm investigating reports of a fiery ghost ship that people see in this bay. Legend says it's the ghost of a cursed pirate ship that was wrecked here hundreds of years ago. Could this be the ship whose ghost comes back to haunt the bay? Looks like this wreck is too small and too new to be a pirate ship. What we saw was a fishing boat. What I'm looking for is a much older wooden ship. Is there anything like that around here?
Certainly lots of old wooden wrecks, but they deteriorate pretty fast in the ocean here. And if you did find them, they'd just be a few wooden sticks. They wouldn't be recognizable as a three-masted intact pirate ship with the sails up, which is what you imagine a wreck would look like.
What about the pirate ship from the legend? Is there any record of a ship catching fire like that and sinking here?
Probably pirates and privateers were in this area. Certainly ships burned, but sounds a little melodramatic to me.
So if the legendary pirate ship ever did exist, it's probably long gone by now. But could all these old shipwrecks have something to do with the fiery red glow that people see today? Do you think shipwrecks might have something to do with the ghost ships people are seeing? I mean, could they actually rise to the surface in flames and go back down again? Roger Vianot is a chemistry teacher at Bathurst Community College.
Okay, we're gonna do a little experiment.
This little tank is a mini version of what probably happens out on the water. We're adding methane gas to the water. It'll rise to the surface, and when we add a spark, whoa, we get fire.
Yes.
People usually see the ghost ship just before a storm. In weather like that, a spark could form on the water surface and light up the gas. So the ghost ship could really just be methane gas burning on the surface of the water.
It's exactly true.
So it turns out that there's a good chance people here are really seeing flames in the bay. Except it looks like the flames are probably caused by methane gas coming from decomposing shipwrecks, not ghosts.
Edinburgh's vaults to record any evidence that the people who once lived here still haunt this underground city. Hello? Hello? All I hear is dripping. Doesn't got anything on my camera. But what about the noises Debbie recorded? Mark's here. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Christina.
Thanks for meeting with me. Mark, you're a sound engineer. Would you mind listening to a tape that was recorded in the vaults and tell me what you think?
Sure, let's get into the car when it's a wee bit quieter.
Good location, but, you know.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. It's interesting, but I don't think it's a ghost. Let me take you back into the vaults and we'll explain.
So, how do you explain the footsteps and the sounds that Debbie's radio team recorded?
Well, I have a theory about that. You see, sound can be reflected off all the hard surfaces. So the sound can be reflected off the walls and can come from a completely different direction from where you think it does.
So, Debbie could have heard a noise from a faraway vault, even though nobody was around.
The sound can travel through the ventilation shafts up here or just down the corridors. And it can travel for a very long way in an environment like this. And so you can hear it as it's right beside you, even if it's a long way away.
And what about the voice that Debbie believes is speaking in Old Gaelic? You know, it could be that when Debbie was told that the voice was saying Fad Ort, that's what she ended up hearing. Just like when somebody tells you that there's a face in the clouds, you end up seeing it too.
Exactly, it could be something like that.
So it looks like there might be a scientific explanation for the ghostly noises recorded in the vault. But even if the voice on the tape didn't say, I have a longing to leave here, I definitely understand why the poor people who lived here would have wanted to leave this dark place.
I guess you have to keep in mind that the people going into these vaults are either hoping or expecting to hear or see ghosts.
Although the power of suggestion only goes so far. I mean, I've been hoping a beautiful woman would step into my office with a batch of cookies for years, and that still hasn't happened. I don't suppose you know any ancient Gaelic.
Old fart.
I think you mean Fad Ort. Ah, close enough.
What's that smell?
That's the same gas Roger Viano set on fire. It's methane.
Well, something is obviously rotting around here.
Maybe. Maybe not. Turns out sometimes people can produce methane too.
Ew. Ugh. Remember, things aren't always what they seem.